Pardon me. It's August 29th, 2019, about 11 p.m. I burned about everything I've got, even though the green sunflowers after I got back from the cow farm. I'll upload that video tomorrow, maybe tonight. Nothing much here. I'm just burning some stuff in the yard and was going to cook out. But I got a bad cough. My chest hurts. Oh, and it was before I started the fire. But I got to meet a cool new farmer. I didn't meet his wife, but I took a bunch of sunflowers out there for his cattle. Galloway breed cattle. And I recorded. I was so mesmerized and thrilled by being out there and being able to do what I wanted to do. Farmer seemed the same way too. Thank you very much, Josh. I know you'll never see this video. You might. He had 6 or 7 adult, one bull, 2,300-pound Galloway breed bull, and I can't remember his name. Starts with a B, Bravo or something. But at one point in time, I had my camera. I just turned it off because I was having trouble recording. I was just so thrilled to be there. And the big bull walked up to me, and I picked up the dried sunflower seed head that had some good seeds in it, and he started eating out of my hand. Big 2,300-pound monster. And the farmer said, that's the one I was worried about, and I can't not believe that he is coming up to you and and I said, I don't even feel nervous around him. And I didn't. He had lost one baby, so we went through the pastures and down through his whole property. Pretty nice sized property, beautiful. Looking for it, we couldn't find it. I'll post that short video. It's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. I need a new camera, something I can put on a tripod. But this farmer's gonna let me do one of my experiments that I've been wanting to do. Play different types of music to cows and see how they react to it. Many videos on YouTube already, but I want to make my own. I got good connection and nobody's in here tonight. That's tripped out. But as soon as somebody comes in here, my connection will probably go bad. And I have to pee really bad. I split this big rotted log. Boy, it was the trunk where it was split, where it went into 2 different parts of branches. But I've been using it to put planters on for a couple of years, but it was really rotted, so I cut it up, split it up with a extremely old, with an iron handle, 8-pound sledge, and I think it's a 2-pound split. I got it split into 7 pieces, and then the biggest piece, which you see on top with a big knot on the top, wouldn't split. Or my arm and my muscle power went out. I'm sitting on my left knee, and it's killing me. I'm afraid I can't get up. Earlier, right when I was getting the fire ready, I heard 2 airplanes. Well, maybe more than that. Possibly 3. And I got my phone out as quick as I could because I knew the sound of that aircraft. And it was almost like a deja vu moment. But I seen two of them, I think there's three. Two C-130s heading due east. So I think they're heading to certain staging areas for the new hurricane coming towards Florida, Dorian. I got video of, I had to zoom in as good as I could. You can see one plane, but there was one other one's right in front of it. My phone was so slow coming on. You have to use the fingerprint to get on, and then as soon as the screen pops up, hit the camera, and it took forever, it seemed like. I could have had two. It's a bat. Somebody's around the front of the house, too. I got the house locked up. Keep the evil people out. Oh, and for the two people that took that to heart, why do you take it to heart? This doesn't mean you. I wasn't pointing out you or the other person. In your mind, do you feel evil or that you've done evil things? If so, I'm very, very, very sorry, because that's not what I meant. You know, there's so much evil in the world. And if you go back to many, many, many of my videos, I've said that a lot. I've got nearly 900 videos. I know most of you, at least the two that know who I'm talking about, don't even watch them all the way through. Well, maybe one person. But besides being the last fire of August, most likely, because I'm out of kindling, I got enough for one more, and I'm getting out of wood. This fire stove is really falling apart. It can only handle one or two more good fires. I really have to use the bathroom. Number one. I don't want to stop the camera because it's actually good. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, I'm on vacation. I was going to be out of town, but yep, it's life. Another thing is, it's been the 1-year anniversary since my brother-in-law's suicide, so it's been kind of rough. I'm sorry, camera. It's been rough for my sister, definitely, and the whole family. But I've told a few people, but ever since that night, because mercy me. That night all that went down, I had just worked 3 days in a row, my long weekend, and was getting ready to go to my very first time. I'd never been past St. Louis, Missouri, and getting ready to go to Colorado. Check out actually, Grandpa always wanted me to see the mountains, and that was my main goal. A friend was going for another reason, and I was going to hitch along, and I wanted to go see the new recreational medical marijuana shops. That wasn't my main priority, as some people think. When I have a lot of video I haven't posted yet to prove the stuff that we did do and stuff that I wanted to do. I could have hiked quite a bit there in Red Rock. That was beautiful. So much traffic going by. Must be a factor of getting off work. So I lost my train of thought. So yeah, 1 year ago, I had worked that weekend. I got off work, came home, worked in the yard a little bit, getting stuff ready. It was just got cleaned up and was eating a sandwich when I got a phone call from the police department, from me to get out to my sister's ASAP because she needed me really bad. And before I could even get out of the house, she calls me and tells me that David had committed suicide. And I said, when? Just now. So anyway, that it's hard to get out of my mind because it was late and I'd worked all weekend and I worked real hard that day and I was ready for a vacation, my first one ever since 1999. And I ended up asking my girlfriend to go with me. It turned out okay, but could have been better. Girlfriend at the point in time. I don't have a girlfriend now, and I don't want one. Um, so yeah, it's been a year. We did a thing at the cemetery. I uploaded that video too. Buffy said, my little sister said I could. It's not much of a video, but we did a balloon release in remembrance. Suicide's hard on the family, I think, more than it is the person that does it. Of course, the person that does it's not going to know anymore because they're dead and took the easy way out. But I will tell you this much right now. My main reason I can't get over it is a couple reasons. Is I found out that my little sister and her husband, David, I can say his name, and the girlfriend that I was with at that time, I can say her first name, Amy. At one point in time, her and David dated. And I didn't know this until a year into the relationship. But that didn't really bother me. Being around David kind of did sometimes, but he was just a different person. He was not a bad guy. Not that I know him. I didn't know him real well. But here's what I was going to tell everybody is, if you have any family member that ever has tried that or whatever, talks about it, remember that when you do something like that, if you're going to be so selfish and take your own life and ruin family members and friends' lives, do it out somewhere in a field or something, because if you do it at home or at your residence, the family has to pay for that, and if they can't pay for it, which we couldn't, you had to clean it up. So unless you do some type of clean suicide, which I don't advise anybody to do, I'm telling you not to, because it hurts the family more than it hurts them. Anyways, you don't want any of that. It's been rough. And I don't like blood, and I can't get that out of my head. I pass out sometimes when they take my own blood. I cannot believe nobody's here, and my Wi-Fi is doing excellent. And it's been pretty quiet. I guess I'll just end it here in a minute. How long has it been? 14 minutes? Hey, I love you, Mom, if you're watching this later sometime. Glad you got to come down the other day. Glad we got to visit a little bit. We could have visited a little bit longer or more if you would have let me know that you guys got down here at a certain time Sunday. You forgot, or somebody forgot. But anyways, yes, I love you. The world's greatest mother, and that's God's honest truth. The sky was completely clear. There's a little bit of clouds coming in. We got rain coming in late Friday. And other than that, we've had some great days. I worked my butt off in the yard. What is today? Thursday. I worked my butt off in the yard yesterday, mainly trimming. So much I got 4 new blisters. But I definitely am not going to be planting that many sunflowers. I know I said it last year, and I didn't plant as many this year or let as many grow. But I've got a really good plan. Once you see the zinnia video too, the zinnia video hasn't been posted. I got a nice patch going, but it's not like you wanted to do. If you ever watch this video, because you said you unsubscribe, you're not going to watch my videos anymore. But you'll like the little zinnia patch I finally got growing for the 3rd time trying to plant them. Success. 3rd time's a charm. Oh, they're right behind me. Yeah, there's a pepper plant there, but boy, oh boy, there's like 8 or 9. It's already bloomed, and they're just beautiful. The different colors: bright red, magenta, yellow, white, 3 different colors of pink, purple. So I got a bunch planted in front too, where you told me to plant them, and they're not growing at all because they do not get no sunlight. They get about maybe 4 hours of decent sunlight in the morning, and then after that, that porch cup's the only way for anything to grow out there really good besides the sunflowers. The only thing I could ever grow there in the very, very front by the porch would possibly be morning glories, which, again, I really didn't want those all over the porch, but that would be okay. The zinnias would have to go completely further out in the yard, maybe to the left and right of the sun patients. And then I'm going to get some more of those border bricks and start putting those in before it gets, once I get the sunflowers taken out here next month. Well, it's getting close to Labor Day holiday. I hope everybody's got some good plans and don't labor too hard. We'll get a cigarette. My hand's asleep. Yeah, one of the vacation days I took for next week, of course I've already used 2 this week. Was I supposed to be... Oh, well, it's Thursday now. I should be leaving. The itinerary was for me to be leaving out of Yellowstone National Park. I was going in through the north entrance to go see Steamboat Geyser, and going through the park and going down through Old Faithful and heading out the south, and then heading through Colorado down to New Mexico to visit a buddy, and then head straight back. It was going to be one hell of a drive, but I could do it. And I have the time, I just didn't have the money. My fault for spending too much money on Thanksgiving trip last year. Made a mistake. Made a couple of mistakes. Yeah, I do make mistakes, but I don't lie. I don't cheat. I would never cheat on anybody I love. What's been happening? Anything exciting going on? Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on. People laughing about Trump wanting to buy Greenland, but he's kind of got a cool idea there, because if you ice worm, and then you got to think about Thule base, it's spelled, we'll say Thule, but in Greenland we have an American base we built in the early 50s, I think about 50, 51. Monster base. It's a big American military base, and it's still there, and we still use it. Greenland's a lot more than just ice. There's a lot of few. Not a lot, but there's a few. And then there's a locked up for the first time. Besides Thule Air Force Base or military base, there's a project they did a couple of years later, and it's called Operation Iceworm. If you get a chance, check that out. It's another massive military base they built up there, and it still has some people there, but not a tenth of what used to be there. I'm sitting on the ground on my little piece of paper. Oh, the squirrels are back in the darn soffit. On the roof. I have squirrels in my soffit. It sounds like it's coming from her house. It's her boyfriend's car. You know, they threw that gravel in there, which they didn't get a permit to do, and you have to have a permit. And it's enough, you can park 2 cars there, and they only park 1. And he's rutted up the yard pretty bad, but I guess that noise was her shutting the window. I think she was listening to me. Yeah, she hasn't caused any trouble lately, so that's good. And her camera over there, the one's pointed at me, it's only got a red light on tonight. Let's see if I can zoom into it. I don't know, because normally it has a red and a green light on. Oh, the sunflower leaf. Well, maybe it does have both. Is it just, I think I see a green one flashing. Yeah, she's watching me through that camera. Uh-oh, my zoom's stuck. So that one's pointed directly right at me right now. And there's another one up there underneath the porch thing that's actually on her garage, her property, where it should be. This was a spur of the moment live thing, so don't get mad that you didn't get notice, or not that nobody cares. Oh. Normally I do these later. I had 3 big piles over here to my left of dry sunflower stalk that I've already cut and had piled up to get rid of. And to the right of me, I had 2 big piles of semi-dry green stalks. And then I had 1 big pile of just diseased leaves and diseased sunflower heads. And I actually got all that burnt. And I only had that big log split into 6 pieces. It was so big that the half that's burning right now, that was half of it. The other 5 pieces came from the other half. And it was really, it had some wormholes in it, but it was like petrified, but it burnt good, made some hot coals, and I'll try to set the camera down somehow and I'll stoke the fire. I don't know if you can see me, but there ain't nobody here anyway.